The sound of the world outside is a constant hum, a background noise that you have stopped hearing. You wake up before the sun has fully claimed the sky. The room is cold, and the air feels heavy with the scent of a routine you have practiced for years. You know exactly where your shoes are. You know the exact temperature of the water in the shower. You know the way the floorboards creak under your weight. This is your life. It is safe, it is predictable, it is quiet. But as you stand there, staring at your reflection in the mirror, there is a small, persistent shadow in your eyes. It is the shadow of a question you have been trying to ignore for a long time. Is this all there is? We call it the comfort zone, but for many of us, it has become a velvet-lined trap. It is a beautiful cage, and the door has been open this entire time, yet we stay inside. We stay because we know the dimensions of the cage. New walls are built every day by our own fears. Outside the cage, the horizon is infinite, and that infinity is terrifying. So we choose the autopilot. We choose the path of least resistance. We walk through our days like ghosts, moving from one task to another, fulfilling obligations, meeting expectations, and smiling when we are supposed to smile. But inside, there is a silence that is growing louder. It is the silence of a spirit that is falling asleep. Imagine a ship, a magnificent vessel built for the deep blue reaches of the ocean. It was designed to withstand the crashing waves, to navigate by the stars, and to carry treasures from one side of the world to the other. But this ship never leaves the harbor. It sits in the calm, shallow water. The wood begins to rot. The sails become heavy with dust and salt. The anchor becomes stuck in the mud of the seabed. The ship is safe from the storms, yes. It will never be broken by a giant wave. It will never be lost in a fog. But a ship is not built to sit in a harbor. It is built for the struggle of the sea. It is built for the journey. When you live your life on autopilot, you are that ship. You are protecting yourself from the pain of failure, but in doing so, you are also protecting yourself from the joy of truly being alive. The psychological weight of this safety is immense. It is a slow, crushing pressure. It doesn't happen all at once. It happens over months and years. You wake up one day and realize that you haven't felt a genuine spark of excitement in a year. You realize that your conversations have become repetitive. You realize that you are waiting for the weekend, waiting for the holiday, waiting for retirement, waiting for someone to come along and give you permission to finally start living. But nobody is coming. There is no grand ceremony where a king places a sword on your shoulder and tells you that your life can begin. The door to the cage is open, but the bird has forgotten how to fly. The bird looks at the sky and feels a phantom pain in its wings, a memory of a height it has never reached. You tell yourself that you are being realistic. You tell yourself that you should be grateful for what you have. And you should. Gratitude is a beautiful thing. But there is a difference between being grateful and being stagnant. You can love the life you have while also acknowledging that you are meant for more. You can appreciate the safety of the harbor while knowing that your soul is crying out for the open sea. This feeling of more, this restless, uncomfortable itch under your skin, is not a sign of greed. It is not a sign of ingratitude. It is the sound of your potential knocking on the door of your consciousness. It is your future self trying to wake you up. The trap is comfortable because it demands nothing from you. To stay the same requires zero effort. To remain in the routine is easy. But the cost of that ease is your soul. The cost is the light in your eyes. When you live on autopilot, you stop growing. And in nature, anything that stops growing begins to die. It is a quiet death, a death of passion, a death of curiosity, a death of the impossible dreams you used to have when you were a child. You look at the clock, and another hour has passed. You look at the calendar, and another year is gone. The safety is a lie. The only thing you are truly safe from is your own greatness. Take a deep breath. Feel the air enter your lungs. This is the only moment you truly own. The past is a collection of shadows. The future is a mist. But right now, in this silence, you can feel the weight of the cage. You can feel the rot on the hull of your ship. It is heavy, isn't it? It is tiring to pretend that you are satisfied when you are actually starving. You are starving for meaning. You are starving for a challenge that makes your heart beat faster. You are starving for a version of yourself that you haven't met yet. The comfort zone is not a place of rest. It is a place of slow erosion. It is time to look at the open door. It is time to stop being afraid of the wind. The shift begins not with a shout, but with a whisper. It is the moment when the hum of the world fades away, and you are left alone with your own thoughts. Perhaps you are driving home from work, watching the streetlights flicker on one by one. Perhaps you are standing in line at a grocery store, surrounded by people but feeling entirely isolated. Or perhaps it is 3 o'clock in the morning, and the house is so quiet that you can hear the blood rushing through your veins. Suddenly, it hits you, a thought so sharp and so clear that it cuts through years of excuses. I cannot do this for another 40 years. This is the spark. This is the moment of clarity. It is a terrifying moment, because once you see the truth, you cannot unsee it. You cannot go back to the comfortable lies. You cannot pretend that the cage is your home anymore. This clarity is not born from happiness. It is often born from a deep, profound enough. It is an exhaustion that reaches down into your bones. You are tired of the mask. You are tired of the autopilot. You are tired of being a spectator in your own life. Look at your hands. Look at the lines on your palms. These hands were made to build, to create, to hold, and to change the world around them. They were not made to just click buttons and hold remote controls. Look in the mirror. Look past the fatigue in your eyes. Look at the person underneath. That person is still there. The dreamer, the adventurer, the one who believed that anything was possible. They have been waiting for you to notice them. They have been waiting for this moment of clarity. Most people fear this moment. They feel the spark of enough, and they immediately try to put it out. They turn on the television. They scroll through their phones. They eat food they aren't hungry for. They do anything to drown out the voice that says change. Because change is scary. Change means leaving the harbor. Change means the possibility of falling. But you are different. You are listening to this because you are ready to let the spark become a fire. Understand this. Change does not start with a new job. It does not start with moving to a new city or starting a new relationship. Those are external things. True, lasting change starts with a decision in the mind. It is a quiet, internal revolution. It is the moment you stop saying, I wish, and start saying, I will. It is the moment you stop blaming your parents, your boss, the economy, or your luck, and you take the steering wheel of your life with both hands. This decision is the most powerful thing you possess. It costs nothing, yet it is worth everything. It requires no equipment, no money, and no permission. You can decide to change your life while sitting in a dark room in the middle of the night. The world outside will look exactly the same. The birds will still chirp, the cars will still drive by, and the bills will still be on the table. But everything has changed because you have changed. You have flipped a switch. You have stepped out of the stream of happening and into the power of doing. Clarity is like a lens being cleaned. Suddenly you see the waste. You see the hours you spent on things that didn't matter. You see the people who drain your energy instead of filling your cup. You see the habits that have kept you small. You don't look at these things with hatred, but with a calm, surgical precision. You realize that to build the new house, you must clear the ground. You must remove the debris. This clarity is your compass. It won't tell you the whole map. You don't need the whole map yet, but it will tell you which way is north. It tells you that staying here is no longer an option. Now let the silence settle. Let the enough echo in your heart. Don't rush to the next task. Sit with this feeling. Let the realization that you are the architect of your own destiny sink in. It is a heavy responsibility, yes, but it is also the ultimate freedom. No one is coming to save you, and that is the best news you will ever hear. Because if no one is coming to save you, it means you don't have to wait for anyone. You are the hero of this story. You are the captain. The harbor is behind you. The fog is clearing. What do you see? When the fear of the unknown begins to fade, a new space opens up. It is a blank canvas, vast and white. For a long time, you haven't allowed yourself to look at this canvas. You were told what to paint. You were told which colors were appropriate and which shapes were realistic. But now the brush is in your hand. It is time to define your vision. Close your eyes for a moment. Forget your bank account. Forget your current job title. Forget your age or your past mistakes. Imagine that fear has been deleted from your mind. Imagine that failure is impossible.
If you knew you could not fail, what would you do with your life? Don't answer with a safe answer. Don't say, I just want a slightly better version of what I have. No, go deeper. What makes your soul catch fire? What is the thing you would do even if you were never paid for it? What is the legacy you want to leave behind when your time on this earth is done? This is your vision. It is the why that will sustain you through the how. Without a clear vision, you will wander. You will get tired. When the first storm hits, and the storms will hit, you will want to turn back to the harbor. But when your vision is vivid, when you can smell it, taste it, and see it in your mind's eye, it becomes a magnet. It pulls you forward. Most people have wishes, not visions. A wish is weak. A wish is, I hope things get better. A vision is specific. A vision is, I will build a life where I am free to travel, where I am healthy and strong, and where I contribute something meaningful to the world. You must be the author of your own future. You must describe it in detail. What does your morning look like in this new life? Who are the people around you? What kind of work are you doing? How do you feel when you wake up? Take a piece of paper. There is a strange, ancient magic in the act of writing things down. When a thought stays in your head, it is a ghost. It can be forgotten. It can be changed by your mood. But when you write it down with ink on paper, you are bringing it into the physical world. You are making a contract with yourself. You are telling the universe, this is no longer a dream. This is a plan. Write down your goals as if they are already happening. Instead of saying, I want to be confident, write, I am a confident person who speaks their truth. Instead of saying, I want to be wealthy, write, I am building a life of abundance and financial freedom. Use the present tense. Feel the weight of the words. This is not about pretending. This is about training your brain to recognize the reality you are creating. Your brain is a powerful tool, but it needs a destination. If you don't give it a destination, it will keep returning to the old familiar patterns of the comfort zone. See the new version of yourself clearly. See the way they walk. See the way they handle stress. See the way they look at other people with kindness and strength. This person exists. They are a possibility within you. They are waiting for you to catch up to them. Defining your vision is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice. Every morning, before the world starts screaming for your attention, look at your vision. Remind yourself why you are stepping out of the harbor. The path ahead will not be easy. It will be steep. There will be rocks and thorns. There will be days when you feel like you've made a terrible mistake. But in those moments, you will return to this vision. You will look at the map you have drawn for yourself, and you will remember the enough that started it all. You will remember the bird in the cage. You will remember the ship and the rot.
You are no longer that person. You are the one who decided to move. You are the one who chose to see. You are the one who dared to dream in a world that prefers you to sleep. The vision is set. The decision is made. The first step is under your feet. Can you feel it? The air is different out here. It's colder, sharper, and more alive. It's the smell of possibility. It's the smell of a life that belongs to you. This is the beginning of the rest of your story. And for the first time in a long time, you are the one holding the pen. Let the vision guide you. Let it pull you through the fear. Let it be the light that stays on when all other lights go out. You are not just changing your habits. You are changing your identity. You are becoming the person who is worthy of the life you have imagined. And that, my friend, is where the true adventure begins. But now, as you stand on the threshold of this new existence, something strange happens. The initial rush of excitement begins to cool. The silence of the morning is no longer just peaceful. It is heavy with the weight of expectation. You have made the decision. You have seen the vision. But you haven't moved yet. You are like a runner at the starting line, muscles tense, heart hammering against your ribs, staring at a track that disappears into a thick, swirling fog. This is the moment where most people fail. They fail not because they lack vision, but because they are terrified of the first step. The first step is always the smallest and the most difficult. It is difficult because it is the point of no return. As long as you were just planning, you were safe. But as soon as you take that step, as soon as you send the email, buy the equipment, or speak the truth, you are committed. And with commitment comes the internal critic. This is the voice in your head that has been silent during your dreaming phase, but now it screams. Who do you think you are? It asks. Do you really think you can change? Look at your history. Look at your failures. You are just going to embarrass yourself. This voice is not your enemy. It is a primitive part of your brain that is trying to protect you. It thinks that the comfort zone is life and that the unknown is death. It is trying to keep you safe by keeping you small. When you hear this voice, do not fight it. Fighting only gives it more power. Instead, listen to it and then thank it. Say, "Thank you for trying to keep me safe, but I am not in danger. I am in growth." The resistance you feel is not a wall, it is a sign. It is the friction of a soul moving against the grain of a mediocre world. If you don't feel resistance, you aren't moving. Imagine you are walking into a strong wind. The wind is pushing against your chest, trying to force you backward. You have two choices. You can turn around and let the wind carry you back to the harbor, or you can lean forward. Leaning forward is the first step. It doesn't mean you have to run. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It just means you refuse to stay where you are. The first step is often unglamorous. It might be waking up 30 minutes earlier. It might be saying no to a social event that drains your energy. It might be reading one chapter of a book that challenges you. These are not grand gestures, but they are tectonic shifts in your reality. They are the sound of the cage door finally clicking shut behind you. As you begin to move, you will realize that the fog doesn't disappear all at once. It only clears for the next few feet. You will never see the whole path. You will only see the step you are currently taking, and that is enough. In fact, that is the only way to survive the journey. If you saw the whole mountain at once, the thousands of steps, the steep cliffs, the storms, you would be overwhelmed. But you don't have to climb the mountain today. You only have to take this one single step. Focus on your feet. Focus on the breath. The destination is a dream, but the step is a reality. Master the step, and the mountain will take care of itself. Once the first steps are taken, the honeymoon phase of change begins to fade. The novelty wears off. This is where we enter the long, quiet corridor of the foundation. Building a new life is a lot like building a cathedral. The architect sees the finished towers, the beautiful stained glass, and the grand arches. But the workers on the ground see only stone and mud. They spend years laying the foundation deep into the earth. Nobody sees the foundation. It isn't beautiful, it isn't inspiring. It is just heavy, repetitive work. But without it, the cathedral will collapse at the first sign of a storm. Discipline is the act of doing the work even when the motivation has died.
Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a system. Motivation is like a lightning bolt. It is bright and powerful, but it is gone in a second. Discipline is like the sun. It rises every morning, whether you want it to or not, and it provides the steady energy that makes life possible. To change your life, you must stop relying on how you feel. Feelings are unreliable. They change with the weather, with your sleep, and with what you ate for dinner. If you only work when you feel like it, you will never build anything that lasts. Your foundation is built on your habits. Habits are the small, daily choices that seem insignificant in the moment, but compound over time. A single healthy meal doesn't make you fit. A single hour of study doesn't make you an expert. A single day of saving doesn't make you wealthy. But do these things for 100 days, 1,000 days, and the transformation is miraculous. You are not your goals. You are your systems. If you have a goal to be a writer, but a system of watching 4 hours of television every night, the system will always win. Look at your daily routine with honest eyes. Your routine is a prophecy of your future. If you want to know where you will be in 5 years, look at what you did today. Did your actions move you closer to your vision, or did they keep you in the rot of the harbor? The foundation is built in the boring moments. It is built in the choice to go to the gym when it's raining. It is built in the choice to work on your business instead of scrolling through social media. It is built in the quiet discipline of consistency. There is a deep dignity in this unglamorous work. There is a sacredness in being a person of your word, especially when the only person you gave your word to was yourself. When you show up for yourself every day, you are building self-trust, and self-trust is the bedrock of confidence. You don't get confident by looking in the mirror and saying affirmations. You get confident by keeping the promises you make to yourself. Every time you finish a task you didn't want to do, you are adding a stone to your foundation. You are telling your subconscious, I am the kind of person who gets things done. I am the kind of person who follows through. But even with a strong foundation, you will eventually hit the plateau. This is perhaps the most dangerous part of the journey. You have been working hard for weeks or months. You have been disciplined. You have been taking the steps. But when you look in the mirror, you don't see much change. When you look at your bank account, it hasn't exploded yet. When you look at your skills, you still feel like a beginner. This is the valley of disappointment. It is the gap between the effort you are putting in and the results you expected to see. In this valley, the silence is deafening. The initial supporters who cheered for you when you started have gone back to their own lives. The excitement of the new you has become the reality of the tired you. You start to wonder if the vision was just a hallucination. You start to think that maybe the internal critic was right, that you aren't special, that change isn't possible, and that you should just go back to the cage. The door is still open, after all. The harbor is still there, quiet and safe. This is the moment of truth. This is the test. The universe is asking you, do you really want this, or were you just playing? Consider the Chinese bamboo tree. When the seed is planted, the farmer waters it every single day. He clears the weeds, he protects the soil. For the first year, nothing happens. No sprout, no leaf. The second year, he continues to water it. Still nothing. The third year, the fourth year, 5 years pass, and there is still no sign of life above the ground. To the outside observer, the farmer looks like a fool. He is watering dirt. He is wasting his time. But in the 6th year, the bamboo tree sprouts. And in just 6 weeks,
It grows to be 90 feet tall. Did the tree grow 90 feet in 6 weeks? No. It grew 90 feet in 5 years and 6 weeks. During those 5 years of silence, it was growing a root system that could support its massive height. It was building the strength it needed to reach for the sky. If it had grown before the roots were ready, it would have toppled over in the first breeze. You are in your underground phase. Just because you can't see the results doesn't mean the work isn't working. Every repetition, every hour of focus, every no to a distraction is a root growing deeper into the earth. You are building the capacity to handle the success that is coming. If you were given your dream life tomorrow, you wouldn't be able to keep it. You wouldn't have the discipline, the character, or the strength to manage it. The plateau is not a sign that you have stopped. It is the place where your character is forged. When you are on the plateau, do not look at the horizon. The horizon is too far away. Look at your feet. Keep watering the dirt. Keep showing up. Trust the process more than you trust your eyes. Your eyes can only see the surface, but the process is working beneath the skin. This is the stage where the amateurs quit and the professionals are born. The professional knows that the result is inevitable as long as the work continues. They don't need a standing ovation every day. They find satisfaction in the work itself. Hold the line. When you feel like quitting, remember why you started. Remember the cold room, the creaking floorboards, and the shadow in your eyes. Remember that you didn't leave the harbor just to drown in the shallow water. You left because the safety was killing you. Even a bad day on the path of growth is better than a good day in the cage. On the path, you are at least a traveler. In the cage, you are a prisoner. Breathe. Feel the stillness of the plateau. It is not an ending. It is a preparation.
You are being refined. The fire of the struggle is burning away the parts of you that are too weak to survive the peak. Let it burn. Let the old habits die. Let the impatience wither. When the roots are deep enough, the growth will be explosive. Until then, your job is simple. Do not stop. Do not turn back. The mountain is waiting, and the sun will rise again. You are closer than you think. Then, without warning, the storm arrives. You were beginning to feel comfortable on the plateau. You had your routine, you had your roots. But the universe has one more test for you. This is the storm of failure. It is not a quiet disappointment. It is a loud, chaotic wreck. It is the moment everything goes wrong at once. Your project fails. Someone you trusted lets you down. Your health falters. The money runs out. The sky, which was once a clear, hopeful blue, turns a viscous, bruised purple. The wind begins to howl, and it sounds like all the doubts you've ever had, amplified by 1,000. Most people pray for the storm to stop. They huddle under the nearest tree and beg for the sun to return. But you have been through the cage and the harbor. You know that the sun always returns. But you also know that the storm is a teacher. In the middle of the tempest, you learn what you are truly made of. You learn that resilience is not the absence of fear, but the ability to keep walking while your heart is shaking. When the waves are crashing over the bow of your ship, you don't look at the waves. You look at the compass. You hold the wheel with white knuckles, and you say, "Is that all you've got?" There is a strange peace that comes when you realize that you cannot be broken. You can be bruised, you can be tired, you can be knocked down. But as long as you can look at the sky and breathe, you are dangerous. You are a force of nature. The storm is trying to wash away the old you, the part of you that still wants to hide, the part of you that still cares what people think.
Let it wash them away. Let the rain strip you down to your core. in the middle of the lightning, you will see a version of yourself you never knew existed. You will see a warrior. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is the fuel for it. Every no is a lesson in how to get to yes. Every setback is a correction in your trajectory. If you never fail, it means you are playing a game that is too small for you. It means you are still in the shallow water. Embrace the storm. Let it roar. Let it try to stop you. And when it finally passes, and it always passes, you will stand on the shore, dripping wet and exhausted, but you will be the strongest version of yourself. You will have a story that no one can take away from you. You will have the scar tissue of a champion. The silence that follows a great storm is different from any other silence. It is clean. It is heavy with a sense of completion. You sit on a rock and watch the sun begin to break through the clouds. The light is different now. It is golden, sharp, and intense. You look at your hands. They are the same hands, but they feel different. They feel more capable. You look at the path you have traveled. It is a long, winding scar across the mountain. And then you realize it. The transformation is complete. It didn't happen when you made the decision. It didn't happen when you wrote down your goals. It happened in the quiet, dark moments when no one was watching. It happened in the 3rd year of watering the bamboo. It happened in the middle of the storm when you chose to keep walking. You look back at the person you were in the harbor, the one who was afraid of the creaking floorboards, and you feel a deep, mournful pity for them. They seem like a stranger. They seem like a ghost from a different life. You realize that your clothes don't fit anymore. Not your literal clothes, but the life you used to occupy. The conversations you used to have feel hollow. The things that used to make you angry now seem insignificant. Your old self was a person who asked for permission. Your new self is a person who takes responsibility. You have traded safety for significance. You have traded comfort for character. This is the reward. It isn't the money or the fame or the title. It is the person you have become. You can lose everything else. The ship can sink, the cathedral can burn, but no one can take away the person you are in the dark. You are a person who knows how to survive. You are a person who knows how to build. You are a person who knows how to dream. This internal transformation is the only true security in an uncertain world. You are no longer a victim of circumstances. You are a creator of them. You stand up and walk toward the summit. The air is thin and cold, but your lungs are strong. You reach the peak, and for a moment you expect to feel a grand sense of the end. You expect a finish line. But as you stand there, looking out over the world, you see something that makes you smile. You don't see an ending. You see a range of mountains that stretches on forever. The journey never ends. The horizon is always moving. Success is not a destination where you get to stop. Success is a responsibility. It is the responsibility to see how much further you can go. It is the responsibility to reach back and help the people who are still in the harbor. You look down at the lights of the city far below, and you know there are thousands of people waking up to the sound of creaking floorboards. There are thousands of people staring in the mirror, wondering if this is all there is. You were one of them, and because you survived the climb, you have a duty to be a light for them. You have a duty to show them that the cage door is open. But for now, you look at the next mountain. It is higher than this one. It is steeper. The storms on that mountain will be even more violent. And for the first time in your life, you aren't afraid. You are excited. You are hungry for the challenge. You are a climber now. You are a traveler. Take one last look at where you came from. See the harbor, tiny and distant. See the plateau. See the valley of the storm. They were all necessary. They were all beautiful in their own way. but they are behind you now. The sun is fully up, the shadows are gone, the path ahead is waiting. It's time to change your life, again and again and again. Because the only limit to your growth is the one you place on yourself. The door is open, the wind is calling, the mountain is waiting. Step forward. Your life is finally beginning.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. It really helps the channel. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.